Welcome to Patty's Aquatics. Today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be rescaping the last two tanks that I have to redo down here in my fish room. We'll take you along for the ride, but first I'll give you a little more of a in-depth look at each tank and what I plan on doing. Now this is my 20-gallon with my Koi Swordtails in it. If you may have seen or noticed before, I used to have it thick with Valsinaria. Well, I took that out of there. For the point being more, it grew so fast, which I liked it in the back for the most part, but it would keep propagating and propagating all the way up to the front of the glass all the time, and I'd have to pull it out, and then this is what would happen. I'd get cloudy water from pulling up all the nutrients out of my soil from this dirty tank. And it got frustrating. Yes, I could just trim the tops of the ones in back, but the front ones I always wanted to pull out because I wanted front swimming room to be able to see my fish. So I pulled it all out for a swap meet I went to sell it. So now I need to rescape it, but I want to put plants in here that aren't going to self-propagate. It'd be ones more that I could trim and then repropagate with the stem plants if I wanted to. And I have some of them in there now, and it's bare and it's ugly right now, but I chose not to do anything with it until I rescaped the other tank. Then also, as you can see, all the dirt chunks on the surface, that is from when I pulled the Valsinaria out. I pulled up big chunks of dirt. So I threw a little more added sand on top of it. So we'll be working on this one, but first I want to work on this one over here. This was my, I don't know what size it ever was. I'm going to guess in a 20 to 25 range. It housed my black and green endlers and also a large portion of my cherry shrimp. It had a huge rock pile in here, which I did remove. And I took out most of those endlers and I sold them at the swap meet I was at because I had plans to change this tank over. As you can see right now, it's hard to focus on it. I have a red dragon guppy in there, a male. What I'm going to do with this tank is it's going to become a mixed endler and guppy tank. So I'm going to put a few of my different breeds in here just to make a fun tank to see what I can all create. And then it's also going to house my Koi Angels that I got at that swap meet that are currently over in this other tank that I have to redo yet as well. And they're back there. So, but to do with that, I want to put sand on top of the gravel because this was a dirty tank as well, and I have a gravel cap and it's not very thick. So I want to put a couple inches of sand on top of it, but to do that I have to pull out this hornwort, and then I have Java moss on top of two rocks I kept in there that was attached. I'm going to pull that all out. I'll keep the existing plants in there. Then I want to put sand on top of it and then rescape it from there. So let me get some of the stuff pulled out of here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So I got all the rocks and the Java moss and the hornwort out of there that I can. Next up is I'm going to start to put sand in there. And like usual, I got it from the shores of Lake Michigan. So I'll let you see what it looks like after I get some in there. Well, I got the sand all in. I like it. I like the lighter color. It lets me be able to see the shrimp a lot more. So that part's done. Now I want to rescape it, and I've got this piece of wood here. I'm going to see if I can fit it in there. So I got the piece of wood in. I really like the way it looks. Next up is to add a little bit more plants. What I think I'm going to do is trim some of that little wiggy up there down and replant that. And then I got one clipping of Pogo stem installatus octopus I plan on putting in here as well. And then once that kind of grows, I can repropagate it some. I'm not sure what else I want to put in here. I don't think I want to put that hornwort back in here. The shrimp liked it, don't get me wrong, but it would cover this tank so much that you couldn't really see anything, which I don't really like. I want to see the stuff now. So yeah, so I think I'm just going to put this in here and the little wiggy, and I'll let you see what it looks like after I do that. Well, that one's pretty much finished. I got the Pogo stem installatus octopus back there. I trimmed that one little wigia and kind of put them a few other ones in there. plain and simple, but you know what? Isn't that how most planted tanks start anyway? You basically have a piece of hardscape and a few plants, and it looks a little bare, but it fills in, but I kind of like it. Now, the only thing I got to add here yet is my Koi Angels, and then I have a few random guppies in here from a long time ago, which I never got out that grew bigger, and I do have a male in there with them, so I'm going to put them in there as well. So that's next, and then we're going to start working on this tank. All right, so I got the angels out of there, and I believe I got most of those guppies, if not all of them. We'll find out. That's my koi eating duckweed in the background if you hear the smacking noise. Anyway, so next step for this one is I'm going to take a little net and try to get as much of this crap off the bottom that I can, and then pull out that little bit of Valsinaria that's still in there. Like, look, there's a little shoot trying to work its way up again. Pull the remaining of that out, and then we'll see where we're at from there, and probably some of the string algae that's in there. Well, it got so mucky I was doing a quick water change. From there, we'll start to put in the plants and the little piece of wood I got for it. Well, did a quick water change. Still got a little bit of haze, but that's okay. I can at least see now. Let me see what I can do with it, and I'll show you what I'm thinking. I've got an aquarium lily I put in here from another tank that was pretty in rough shape. I want to see if it can survive the little crypts. I got one here and one there that'll stay. Then I've got the little wiggy in the middle with a little piece of moneywort and some other little wiggy. This one I had put in the long way. It was a long strip, trying to see if it'll start to root up all the way through. And then I have a piece of Anibius in here. I think I got a little piece of Pogostem Enceladus octopus and some pearlweed. So let me throw some things around and see what I like. Well, I think this will be the finished product. We just gotta get that water clear. So what I'm gonna do is throw my green killing machine in there. Well, I got the green killing machine in. I'm gonna let that sit a few days, and I'll let you see what it looks like when it looks all clear. Well, this is a couple days later. I just took the green killing machine out. It cleared up the water like it always does. And I'm not going to lie, I really like the scape of this tank. It's still natural like my other ones, but it just looks a little different to me. I think it's just because it's not as heavy on driftwood like my other ones are. It's more the plants are kind of standing out more than anything. And there's still lots of open swimming room and places to kind of propagate plants. So I'm really liking it. And then I did encounter a possible major problem that I didn't think about with these kois in here. They are hunting all the babies and picking them off left and right. And that's not going to be inducive of me having a mixed tank. So my backup plan always was, if it didn't work out for them in here, or if they he's chasing another one, or if they did wind up pairing off, I was going to have to break down that crayfish tank and make it into a tank of their own, and it's looking like that's going to be our next project. Just when I thought I was done, there's always more to do. Well, like I said, I thought I was done with this whole fish room remake. It looks like I'm not, because these kois want to eat all my babies, something I didn't think about. So I will be having one more rescape of a tank, but other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider going to my channel and hitting that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. Then as always, I'll see you next time here at Patty's Aquatics.